G'day viewers, Dano here from Dano's channel. On today's project from the shed, we're going to be installing one of these GME XRS-370 two-way radios into the old Prado. We'll also be putting one of these adapters through the dashboard so that I can just unplug the handpiece, take that out of the vehicle, and unless you're having a real good look around, you won't even know that there is a two-way radio in there. Now you'll see here that I've already installed my antenna. One thing when you are installing these, just make sure that you leave a little bit of a loop down the bottom there, because look, if you are in a bit of a shrubby environment, you get a little bit of flex, then that wire gets drawn up inside. So just make sure you leave a little bit of a loop there. Alright, without too much more rooting around, let's get into ripping some trim out of the car and installing the radio. First thing I'm going to do is pull some trim out. So look, all that you really need for that's a screwdriver, and you know, I've got a little trim remover tool here which will come in handy. You don't necessarily need that. Rightio, now that bit of trim's off, we're able to see where we're going to mount it. Now in my vehicle there's a redundant fastener just here, which is what I'm going to use to mount it onto. I've already fabricated a little bit of a bracket which will go straight onto that, and then my two-way base will mount onto it. So without too much more buggerising around, let's get into putting it together. Rightio, there you have it. There's our two-way all mounted in the base and on that bracket I made up. Now I'm going to attach our antenna cable. That's already been run through all the engine bay, all that sort of stuff. So let's attach that and lock it down tight. And we're going to put our power wire on. These come with a 2 amp fuse already, but I am going to install a fuse on the other end with a little bit higher of a amperage rating on it, just to give me a little bit of extra protection. But now we're all hooked up, let's install it and then get to doing the wiring. So there you have it. That's the radio all installed using that little bracket I made up and that existing fastener. I am going to pop out. This here, and that's where the adapter is going to go for the microphone. So I'll do that and I'll show you when that's done. Rightio, there's our adapter all installed. I've plugged the cable into the back of it. That goes back to the radio. You notice with these adapters, if you do get them, they've got a black and a red wire on them. That's for the LED lighting that's inside it. I'm not going to show you doing that today. But if you want to do it, just hook it into your lighting circuit. I'll probably just hook it into the lighting circuit that's around my cigarette lighter or something like that. Cool. Rightio, so that's our wiring from our radio down to the adapter through the dash. You can see I haven't done those dash light ones yet. Fuse and all that's up in there. I've got my antenna wire and my power wire running through this bit of split tubing here. Over here I'll put some terminals on it in a minute. I'm just going to put the trim and everything back in and then I'll move on to wiring it up, and I'll come back and I'll show you when we're doing that. Rightio, that's all our wiring done. You can see that adder fuse up in there. Lovely, doing its job. Now all that we've got to do is plug our handpiece into the adapter in the dash and make sure that it works. Let's give it a whirl. Well,
like you're helping out a company, Dean. They might throw you a bit of money here and there every now and then. Fucking hell, mate.
there you go, people. That's the radio all installed. Can't bugger it up. Just remember, red goes to your battery or to your positive supply, and black goes to earth or your negative supply. Nice and easy. When it comes to the terminals on the back of the radio, you can't bugger them up. The plugs that come with it will only go in one spot. It's a piece of piss. So like I said, right back there at the start, anyone can do it. Just get in there, have a go. That's all you got to do. You know, you can't really stuff it up. Before I go, let's just talk about antennas for a second. There's two different types that you can get: ground dependent and ground independent. Ground dependent need a plane, or ground plane if you will, that they're mounted on, like a something like the middle of your roof, for example. They need that so that they can function properly. Most people I know wouldn't be too happy about drilling a hole in the middle of their roof. So the majority of people that I know have got ground independent antennas. So those independent antennas are the ones that you can mount out on a lug on your bull bar or something like that. And yeah, it pretty much doesn't matter where you put them. They're designed to work anywhere. And yeah, just be careful if you are picking yourself up an antenna to go with your new radio. Make sure that you get the one that's going to suit your needs. I highly recommend ground independent, and it doesn't matter where you put it. When it comes to antenna length, I've got two different antennas for mine, two different radomes. I've got the longer one, which is designed for your long distance out in your nice flat open country, and the shorter one, which is designed for your hillier terrain. Yeah, mountains and stuff like that, up in your high country. Remember, UHF is line of sight only, so it's pointless having a great big antenna that's designed for long distance transmission when you're up in your mountainous terrain. It's not designed to work up there. I'm not saying it won't work, but it won't work as well as one that's properly designed for it. Okay, if you have enjoyed today's content, slap that thumbs up button like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Share the video with your friends, and if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Come on, click that subscribe button down there in the Meat Gazer box. Speaking of that Meat Gazer box, I will throw a few links in there for some of the products that I've used today. I can't say that they'll continue to work. I bought a lot of my items through eBay, but the sellers I purchased them through are fairly well entrenched there. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. On today's project from the shed, we're going to be installing one of these GME XRS Connect 370C to a... Blue, shut the fuck up. That worked well, didn't it?